because he did several things to my grandson that was, I visually saw this, and so did my
Enjoy the video, hit the like button.
I haven't made any agreement with her directly, but yes, we did just discuss that he would be with my mother.
All right. And it is your agreement that Wyatt will live with your mother, Rebecca Gonzalez, and she will be the managing conservator of Wyatt, and you will be a possessory conservator of Wyatt. Is that correct?
Yes.
All right. And you currently owe some child support to Miss Dodd. Is that right?
From what I've been told.
Okay. At one time, you were ordered to pay child support and medical support to Miss Dodd. Is that correct?
Yes, I was at one point in time.
Okay. And have you been making payments on that?
I had been making regular payments. As far as my knowledge, I didn't miss any. I was court ordered, and it started coming out of my direct deposits for any of the occupations I've had.
Okay. And when did where does Wyatt live right now?
Right now, I have no knowledge of where he lives. I just know he stays with my mother. I don't know anything really about him. I haven't had any contact at all this year for sure in all of 2026. And I don't know anything about him.
Okay. Have you attempted to contact your mother to find out anything about Wyatt?
Yes, so I did reach out over a phone number that I was, but I mean, it didn't connect. And other than that, the last time I had any interaction with him, I was pretty much extorted for some money, and I was threatened with violence and everything, so I haven't had any contact.
Okay. When did Wyatt go to stay with your mother? Do you know?
I have no idea. He was taken from my possession some years ago, and I wasn't aware of any outside agreements or any agreements between anybody else. I was kept in the dark on all of it. I didn't know where he was. I didn't know at all.
Okay, I'm sorry, you broke up a little bit. You said he was taken from you?
Yes.
About a year ago?
A few years ago, a number of years ago. And whenever he was taken from my possession, I didn't know anything. I don't know at what time he started staying with my mother. I don't know any agreement upon him staying with my mother or anything like that.
Okay, who took him from you?
Laura Dodd.
Okay. And when did that occur?
I believe in 2019, somewhere around that time. I don't know what happened after that.
When was the last time you actually saw Wyatt?
So I saw him for a little while in 2025. Prior to that, it had been a year or two before, and I only saw him for a short time. And before that, I didn't have any contact or clue where he was from the moment he was taken from my possession.
Other than the attempted phone call and the one time you went to Miss Gonzalez's home, have you made any other efforts to see Wyatt?
No, I haven't had any ideas how to contact anybody or where he was being I guess, where he was living.
Okay. All right. So, as you said, you were previously ordered to pay child support to Miss Dodd, correct?
Yes.
And at some point, you quit paying that child support. Is that correct?
No, ma'am. I didn't know that at any point in time I had quit paying for the child support. I thought I was still making payments towards that child support. There's child support being deducted from my paychecks. So I don't know like which order it's for, or as far as my knowledge goes, I never stopped making payments on the first order or any order that I was made to pay.
Okay. Um, you said you don't know what order it's going for. Do you have other orders for child support with other children?
No, ma'am, I have no children. I don't have really any information on there being separate orders or a before order and an order now, or what exactly is the order that we're speaking of.
Your Honor, may I share my screen?
You may.
I'll show what's been marked for identification purposes as State's Exhibit 1, the pay record in this case. And ask you, Mr. Rodriguez, have you ever seen this?
I'm sorry, who's that directed to?
Mr. Gonzalez?
Okay, these are all for 2020, 2021.
And they go down. If I scroll down, it continues on. And it indicates through here you're making payments that are being deducted. This is 23. Sorry. Trying to get to the bottom here. Okay. And then we get to, I'm going to enlarge this a little bit so we can see part of it. We get to this section in April of 2025. And it looks like there are no more payments in that section up through today. And I would show your balance as of May 31st, 2026 to be $4,464.45. Does that sound correct to you? Does that sound correct, Mr. Gonzalez? Are you there? No. Did we just lose him?
I'm not sure what happened. As I was saying, I did have some deductions made from a previous occupation last year.
Okay.
With
And-
MC transportation, and I did
Okay.
have deductions made from then.
Were those ones in April of 25?
Yes, March, April, down to November.
Okay.
I should have been making payments because I was employed with TMP and I was getting direct deposits, and so those should have had the deductions already on there.
But you would agree with me, without those payments showing, it indicates your balance to be $4,464.45.
Yes, it does show that.
All right. And your medical support balance to be $1,880.62.
Yes, it shows.
All right. We'd ask that be admitted as State's Exhibit 1, Your Honor.
All right, Brandon Gonzalez, do you have any objection with me having this document as evidence?
Sorry, yes.
Okay, what's your objection to me having it?
Oh, no, never mind. I'm sorry. I couldn't really hear.
That's okay, thank you. Rebecca Gonzalez, do you have any objection with me having this document as evidence today?
No, ma'am.
Thank you. Ms. Dodd, do you have any objections with me having this document as evidence today?
No, ma'am.
All right, thank you. State's Exhibit 1, the financial activity report or pay record in this matter run on June 1st, 2026 is admitted.
Thank you, Your Honor.
And you can quit sharing it whenever you'd like.
Okay, thank you. All right. So, Mr. Gonzalez, where are you currently working?
I'm currently working at Schlotsky's in Sweetwater.
And how much are you currently making?
I believe only $12 an hour.
And how many hours a week do you typically work?
At the moment, I've only been working about 30 hours a week.
All right. And how long have you been at Schlotsky's?
Only about, I think this is going on 3 weeks.
Okay. And do you have prospects for other employment?
I do have a potential job. It's with a company in Abilene, and they say I'm not supposed to start until June 16th, which is like 2 weeks or so from now.
Okay.
So I probably do. I'm just not entirely sure.
All right. And what's the name of the company?
True Green.
All right. And how much would they pay you?
Around $17 an hour.
All right. And would you be working 40 hours a week?
Yes, I believe so.
And is there potential for overtime?
Not that I know of.
Do you have health insurance available through either of those companies that would cover your son?
Not right at the moment. I don't know when benefits would kick in for this other job, just because I haven't started yet.
Do you have any other children besides Wyatt?
No, I do not.
And what do you think your visitation with Wyatt should be?
I would say maybe just like weekends or alternating weekends, something. I just would like unsupervised visitation just due to the fact that if it is supervised, I would like it to be a third party. I don't want there to be any forced interaction between me and Rebecca Gonzalez.
And is there someone you could think of that would be appropriate to supervise that you would like to do it if that was what the judge eventually ordered?
I could think of a few people. They're not exactly relatives or anybody, but I do have some people that have children and that are, I guess, capable parents and things like that.
Okay. Do you think there's any reason your visits would need to be supervised?
No, ma'am.
Have your visits with Wyatt been supervised in the past?
No, ma'am. In the past, I really haven't had any visitations. I've only been able to spend maybe a month or two out of the past like 2 years.
Okay. As far as you know, is there anything unusual about Wyatt that would make him limited in his abilities to communicate to someone if he needed help or something like that?
No, not that I know of.
Okay. All right. Anything else you think the judge needs to know about this situation today?
Not exactly, other than I have not had any contact or anything with my son, with Wyatt, at all. And especially since the beginning of 2026 and then most of 2025, most of 2024.
All right. And because of the altercation you had with Ms. Gonzalez, you are asking to keep your address confidential, is that correct?
Yes, I am.
Okay. All right, I'll pass this witness, Your Honor.
So, Mr. Gonzalez, it's been at least 2 years since you've had any contact with Wyatt at all?
But last year in 2025, I got approximately 2 months worth of like interaction and everything. It's just I was being extorted for money and being made to like buy groceries and things like that, and just in order to see him, I was forced to sign a handwritten note from Rebecca Gonzalez saying that I couldn't take my son anywhere. I couldn't have him without her being present, and like I was forced into signing that.
Okay.
And he.
Okay. So how long were the visits?
So I would get to spend like a couple of nights, and like I would get to work at nighttime and then go stay there during the day, and like I would sleep part of the day and spend a few hours with him before I went back to work.
Okay, so you slept while he was like at school?
No, he didn't attend school. My mother says she had him homeschooled, but I don't believe she had him enrolled in anything.
Okay. So you're saying a couple of hours every day for like 8 weeks?
Maybe.
Okay. And was this summertime, wintertime? Do you remember?
It was about the summertime. One of the weeks held my birthday on the 30th of June, so it was within.
And that was last summer.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Before this job at Schlotsky's, how long were you unemployed?
Just about a month or so.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah, just about a month.
Is that the kind of job you usually have?
Sort of. I do have like some fast food experience and everything, but I have been working like traffic safety, and I was a tire technician. I'm
Okay.
looking to be like a landscaper eventually, but I don't
Right.
know exactly.
Okay. And this, you said at True Green they were offering $17 an hour?
Well, she said that they start around 17, so I
Okay.
imagine, yeah.
Okay. And do you for sure have that job?
Well, not exactly. I'm going through the pre-employment process. She said that if I do have a start date in the coming future, it'll be the 16th. So it'll be at least 2 weeks before I know whether or not.
Okay. Okay. Interesting. Okay. All right. When you were those last summer when you were seeing Wyatt, how did those visits go
Um,
between you and Wyatt?
Between me and Wyatt, they were
Uh-huh.
fine. From what I understand, he understood that I was his father, and we interacted perfectly fine. We would play, we would laugh a lot, and he seemed happy from what I understood.
Okay.
When interacting with me.
All right. And you're right now, do you live in Sweetwater?
Yes.
If you get the job at True Green, are you going to continue to live in Sweetwater?
Yes, I was planning on making a commute. It's only about 38 minutes or so.
To Abilene?
Yes. To the facility.
To the facility. Okay. And how long, what's the commute to Midland?
To Midland.
Or I'm sorry, to Big Spring. I'm in Midland. They're not. To Big Spring. What's the commute to Big Spring?
I believe it's over an hour. It might be around an hour somewhere.
Okay. Okay. All right. Laura Dodd. As an unrepresented party, you have the right to cross-examine the witness. That means you have the right to ask Mr. Gonzalez questions about the things he testified, and I do require it to be in the form of a question. Now, this is not your time to try to rebut anything or tell me anything. You haven't been sworn in. Anything you said, I couldn't even consider anyway, since it's not under oath. Do you have any questions you feel like you need to ask Brandon Gonzalez?
No.
All right, thank you. Rebecca Gonzalez, same thing. As an unrepresented party, you have the right to cross-examine the witness. Again, not your time to tell me your side yet. It is limited to the things he testified about, and it does have to be in the form of a question. Do you have any questions you feel like you need to ask Brandon Gonzalez?
I would like to ask him why he thinks that he couldn't contact his son when I have lived at the same address and had the same phone number that he had contact with while he was here seeing his son last year.
All right, you have to let him answer. Mr. Gonzalez, do you have an answer?
Yeah, so before I arrived at her house last year, I was previously I was traveling, and I was employed as a firefighter for a small time, so I didn't have much free time. But then prior to that, the last time I interacted with my mother, she called the police on me for an altercation, and so I was under the assumption that I was trespassed from the property.
Any other questions, Mrs. Gonzalez?
My question was from the time that he saw him last year until now, not before that.
Okay.
So yes, just within this past year, the last time, whenever I left my mother's house for seeing my son the last time, she had him barred in a room and was trying to extort me for $100 cash money at a time in which I told her I didn't have it. And she said, I either have to get out or give her the money. And whenever I told her I wasn't going to give her the money and I tried to pack my bag, her and Kelly Heron surrounded me in a room and started threatening me with violence and told me I'm going to have to pay them money. And they tried to force me into paying them cash for a supposed dentist appointment when I could have just been invited to go to the dentist appointment and have paid my share of it. That's why I didn't interact with them, and I don't want to have any interaction at any point with them, because the last time I seen them, they threatened me with violence and tried to extort me for $100 cash money.
Any other questions, Ms. Gonzalez?
No, ma'am.
All right. Ms. Cox.
I'll call Miss Dodd as my next witness.
All right. Ms. Dodd, please raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear the testimony you give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
Thank you. You may put your hand down. Ms.
Miss
Cox?
Dodd, Miss Dodd, will you state your full name, please?
Laura Jane Dodd.
And you are the mother of Wyatt, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. And where does Wyatt live right now?
With his grandmother, Rebecca Gonzalez.
And how long has he lived with his grandmother?
About 4 years.
Okay. And how did he come to live at his grandmother's?
It was a family agreement.
Prior to living with his grandmother, where had he lived?
With me.
All right. And have you seen Wyatt since he went to live with his grandmother?
Yes, ma'am. I've seen him.
All right. When was the last time you visited with him?
I'd say about like 2 years ago.
Okay. And if the court were to grant you visitation with Wyatt, what type of visitation would you like to have?
No supervision.
Okay. And how often would you like to visit him?
As much as I can.
All right. Are you currently working?
No, ma'am.
All right. And do you have other children?
Yes, ma'am. I have 3 girls.
Okay. And why aren't you working?
Because I'm a full stay-at-home mom to take care of my girls.
All right. Is there any physical reason you wouldn't be able to hold down at least a minimum wage job working 40 hours a week?
Because
Other than staying home and taking care of your children?
No, ma'am.
Okay. And how do you currently live right now?
My boyfriend provides for me and my girls.
Okay. Are you in agreement with Miss Rebecca Gonzalez continuing to be the managing conservator of Wyatt? Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And having the right to set his residence and determine where he goes to school?
Yes, ma'am.
And you would be a possessory conservator? Is
Yes,
that
ma'am.
correct?
Yes,
Okay.
ma'am.
All right. And are you asking the court to keep your address confidential?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Have you had any sort of interactions with any of the parties or anyone else that would cause you to fear for your safety?
Brandon Gonzalez.
Okay. And when was the last time you saw Mr. Gonzalez?
2020.
Okay. And were there altercations with Mr. Gonzalez then?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Tell the court a little bit about what happened.
We were living together at the time in Sweetwater in Housing Authority, and he was always arguing with me, fighting with me. He's raised his fist at me. He's almost run me over with his car. He's almost trying to take Wyatt from me. He just really negative and bad things, and that's why I took Wyatt from him.
Okay. All right. Is there anything else you think the court needs to know about this case?
No, ma'am.
All right. I will pass this witness, Your Honor.
The boyfriend that's, I presume, living with you and supporting your household, is that the father of your 3 girls?
Yes, ma'am.
And those are the only other 3 kids you have?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Are you still living in this area?
No, ma'am. I live in Big Spring.
Okay. But I mean, in the larger area, you still here?
Yes, yes.
Yeah. Okay. So why have you not been visiting with Wyatt?
I just had a baby last year in October, so I've been in and out of the hospital with my high-risk pregnancies and stuff like that. And she's been in the NICU, and so that's why I haven't been visiting Wyatt that much. But I have been in contact with Rebecca almost all the time to see how Wyatt's doing.
Okay. When you call Rebecca, do you speak with Wyatt ever?
Yeah, I speak with Wyatt.
Okay. And you don't have insurance available from any source that you could put Wyatt on?
No, ma'am. I just have Medicaid.
All right. Rebecca Gonzalez, same rules as an unrepresented party. You have the right to cross-examine the witness. Do you have any questions you feel like you need to ask Ms. Dodd?
Hold on just a second, Your Honor. I would like to ask her, when she says that she has contact with me and has spoken to Wyatt, I feel like her contact with my husband was not the same. Was it?
Ms. Dodd, do you understand the question?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
I texted Kelly asking if I could have Rebecca's number, but she never gave it to me.
Okay. And Kelly is her husband?
Yes, that's Kelly's is her husband.
Okay.
I only contact Kelly because I don't have Rebecca's phone number.
All right. Any other questions, Ms. Gonzalez?
Yes. No, Your Honor. I don't have any more questions. I really can't at this time think of anything.
Okay, that's fine. Brandon Gonzalez, unrepresented party, you have the right to cross-examine the witness. Same rules. Must be related to what she testified to and must be in the form of a question. Do you have any questions you feel like you need to ask Ms. Dodd?
Not at this time, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. Well, Ms. Dodd, was there something that happened specifically 4 years ago
No, ma'am.
that you just kind of, life was such that
I think it was
better for Wyatt to stay with his
Wyatt's best
grandma.
interest. Yes, ma'am. It was in Wyatt's best interest for him to stay with his grandma. There was nothing involved or anything.
Okay, CBS wasn't involved or
No,
anything
ma'am.
like that. Okay.
No.
All right. Okay. Miss Cox.
All right. I would call Miss Rebecca Gonzalez as my last witness.
Miss Gonzalez, if you'd raise your right hand, please.
Yes.
Do you solemnly swear the testimony you give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, I do.
Okay. Thank you. You may put your hand down. Miss Cox.
Miss Gonzalez, would you state your full name, please, ma'am?
My name is Rebecca Michelle Gonzalez.
All right. And you were the paternal grandmother of Wyatt. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. And how old is Wyatt?
He is 7 years old.
Okay. And how long has he lived with you?
Since March the 1st, 2022, which would be over 4 years.
Okay. And how is he doing with you? Is he happy, healthy?
Yes, ma'am. He is happy, healthy, growing, emotionally, mentally, physically. His needs are met. He's every day knows that he's wanted and needed. He has some issues as far as abandonment and things like that, but we are working through those because I tell him that every day how much I am blessed to have him, that I'm thankful to be his grandmother, and that he's an amazing kid.
Okay.
Miss Gonzalez, could you get back on video?
I don't know what happened. I didn't touch anything, so
It should be like a movie camera kind of icon. You might have accidentally bumped it.
yes. I haven't touched my computer, so I don't know what happened. Hold on 1 second. I'm trying to, it's my computer. I don't know why.
Zoom is mystical and wonderful thing.
Is it coming back on already or no?
Nope. Oh, there we go. There you are.
There we go.
Thank you. All right.
Oh,
Sorry,
thank
Miss Cox.
you so
Go
much.
ahead.
I don't know
All right.
what happened.
Zoom.
Does Wyatt attend school?
No, ma'am. He is homeschooled right now at this current time, but I plan on putting him back into the public school probably when he hits 3rd grade. He'll be going into 2nd in September, but I am currently homeschooling him due to the fact that he had major abandonment issues. And every morning before public school, when he was in kindergarten, he would cry for 15, 20 minutes before school because he was so scared that I would not pick him up, or he was scared of being bullied at school. There was some incidents of bullying there, and he just was shutting down and having so much emotional withdrawals. And when I got him home and started homeschooling him, he has done so much better as far as his education. I've got documentation as far as the work that we do together and everything. And I plan on like giving him a state test, which I will have to pay for, but in order for him to go back into public school. As far as like, assessment test or whatever I have to do in order for him to go back into public, because I did not want to homeschool him, but I wanted him to further his education, you know.
All right. That's good. So tell me, what type of visitation do you think Miss Dodd should have with Wyatt?
Right now, I would like for it to be supervised due to the fact that she hasn't been a part of his life for the last 4 years. She's had 3 visitations with him when we have taken him to Big Springs and met her in the Walmart parking lot for like 15 minutes. And then she had 1 visitation with him at a office where we went and had the guardianship papers signed, and that was in 2023. But since 2023, she has not had no eye contact or any kind of contact with him other than her sending text messages to my son asking, "Is Wyatt okay?"
Okay.
And I have all
Okay.
this.
Hold on just a minute.
Something went wrong again. It says something about, oops, something went wrong. Close all your browsers and rejoin the meeting.
Well, you're still here. Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am. I can hear y'all and I can see y'all, but I don't know why that's coming up. I'm going to close it out. I'm going to push the
Well,
X.
if you close it out, we're going to lose you.
No, I meant the little message it
Oh,
sent
the
me.
message, yeah.
I did. It's still here.
Okay. All right. So are you willing to be the managing conservator of Wyatt and decide where he goes to school and to set his residence?
Oh, yes, ma'am.
Okay. And do you believe it's in his best interest for Brandon Gonzalez and Laura Dodd to be possessory conservators of Wyatt?
I don't know what that means.
That they would have rights to Wyatt as parents, but would not make the decision about where he lives or where he goes to school or the major medical decision, things like that.
No, ma'am, because I want him to have, if they are introduced back into his life, because they have no contact, have not had any contact with him other than Brandon Gonzalez did have supervised visitation, and it was supervised by me and a 21-year-old in April of last year, between April, May, and June of 2025, he had supervised visitation. And during that time, it was not good because he did several things to my grandson that was, I visually saw this, and so did my child, who is 21
What did you observe?
Okay, let me look at my calendar because I wrote it down so that, you know, I would know the dates and everything.
I don't need the dates. I'm just asking you for examples of what you observed.
Okay. At one time, he held a pillow over my grandson's face and tickled him to make it feel like it was a game to my grandson. And if I wouldn't have walked into the room and stopped it, it would have went further. And also, he called him a word that is a cuss word several times, and my grandson's the one that told me this. As far as I heard it at once, but my grandson told me it happened 2 other times, and it was because he was showing affection to me at the time. And another incident was that when Brandon would get off of work at 6 a.m. in the morning, my grandson would be up playing, or well, not yet up, but he would be ready, fixing to get up for the day. And Brandon would want him to lay down with him on the bed. And he removed his underwear a couple of times, and they were shoved under the cushions of the couch or under the mattress of the bed. And I know this was observed by me and another person. So it wasn't just me. And I just want supervised visitation because of these things. And also, he was put in jail and arrested for possession of illegal substances on December the 31st, 2025. And I feel like all of these stacked up, he needs either supervised visitation or none at all.
All right.
Man, you believe.
And
Not yet, but you will.
At
All
this
right.
time, I have these documented with the sheriff's office as far as he says that he was threatened with violence on the day he left my home. He's the one that threatened me and my husband.
Hold on. I was just asking you about what you observed
Yes,
during
ma'am.
the visits. So, okay. So Mr. Gonzalez knows where you live, but have there been incidences of violence between you and Mr. Gonzalez?
Other than verbal, no, because
All right.
my husband has stepped in to prevent him from doing the things he said he was going to do.
Okay. So has he threatened you?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. And what about Miss Dodd? What type of visits do you think she should have?
I would like supervised due to the fact that she hasn't been a part of his life. And I think that emotionally, if she was to take him without someone he's used to, it would set him back emotionally because the abandonment, he won't even let, whenever last year on 2025, we had a little Zoom meeting with the Attorney General, the day at which was June the 4th. Let me look at my calendar. Hold on. On June the 4th. And on June the 5th, she called me and threatened to come and get him. And he overheard that. And he was so scared that she was going to come and take him from me that he would not even let me go to the bathroom without standing out in the hall hearing me and me talking through the door to him because he was so scared she was going to come and get him.
All right.
And I do have a witness that will state the same thing.
Okay. Is there anything else you think the judge needs to know about this situation?
Yes. Hold on just a minute. I have notes. I believe that the statement that Brandon Gonzalez gave was completely turned around. On the day that he left my home, the money that he said that I extorted from him, it was $100 to pay for his dental. He had dental surgery in August. But before that, before August the 1st, we did not know he was covered by Medicaid, which started on July the 1st. And so that's why I wanted that $100 was to pay for that visit to the dentist. And I had called the dentist and asked them how much it would cost. And it was going to be $109 for the dental visit without insurance. And so that's why I asked Brandon for that. And he was determined he was not going to pay anything for his son, even though he wasn't paying child support at all at the time.
Okay, let me ask you a question kind of in regards to that. How is Wyatt insured right now?
He has Blue Cross Blue Shield, and we cover that. We do not pay monthly for the insurance, but we have to pay every time he goes to the dentist, to the medical doctor. The dentist is not covered under that insurance. It's only medical. And so we would have to pay, if he goes to the dentist, we would have to pay the full dental visit, which is $109 just to see the dentist, whether there's any.
Is that insurance through an employer or through the marketplace, or how do you get that insurance?
It's through the marketplace.
All right. And so you have no dental insurance, is that correct, for Wyatt?
Not at this time. Not at this time.
Okay. I'm sorry. You can continue. What do you think the judge needs to know?
That's just about it. I just feel that since they haven't been a part of his life consistently, and the fact that Brandon was in and out of his life last year, and before April of 2025 had no contact with him. And Laura Dodd has not had any physical contact with him, that it causes him to have emotional and mental abandonment issues. And I have to reassure him all the time that he is loved and wanted, and that I would never abandon him. And if he doesn't get this reassurance all the time, he goes into a state of, he stutters, he cries at the drop of a hat. He just feels like he's going to be abandoned. I can't, if we bring up his mom and dad, or he thought at one time he thought he had saw Brandon in Walmart, he will not let me out of his sight. I mean, I will have to take him and let him stand in the hall while I use the restroom, because he's so afraid that I'm going to go out the door and never come back. And he tells me these things. It's not something I'm making up. I would be willing for him to talk to anyone to prove this, because until June of 2025, when he would ask questions about his parents, I would fabricate the fact that they were working and they couldn't take care of him, because he would say, "Grandma, why don't I live with my mom?" And I'd say, "Well, baby, she works all the time, and that's why she can't take care of you. She gave you to me because I don't work. I can stay at home with you. Grandpa works, and someone can take care of you." And that reassured him that it wasn't him that didn't deserve stability, that didn't deserve love and attention. And so that was my story until he overheard the conversation between me and Laura Dodd, saying that she was going to come and get him, and that all I cared about was money, because he went into like a shock to where he was so scared of being abandoned again, and that he wasn't worthy of love.
All right.
And that broke my heart.
That's the witness, Your Honor.
How much are you paying for the insurance? What's the premium?
We don't have a premium that I know of. My husband handles all of that, but I just take him to the doctor, just like me. All of us are covered under it, and we just go to the doctor and we pay the $30 copay,
Okay.
and then and we pay for medicine, which like my medicine, I don't know about Wyatt's medicine, since he's only been covered since the 1st of, hold on just a minute. His Medicaid ended on April the 30th. So it would just be let me look on our insurance card. Hold on one second, and I can tell you how much we would pay for the prescriptions.
That how much you pay for the out of pocket, that doesn't count for my math. Okay.
Okay.
But as far as you know, there is no actual premium.
No, as far as I know, no, ma'am.
Okay. All right. And I'm a little confused. Do you live in Big Spring?
No, ma'am. I live in Sweetwater, Texas.
You live in Sweetwater. Okay.
And I have lived at this address for over 7 years.
That's fine. It's just they did non-disclosure on your citation, so I don't know where anybody lives.
Oh, okay.
There's nothing in the court file that would give me that information. Okay. Is there any, to your knowledge, is there any facility in Sweetwater for supervised visitation?
Not that I know of. I haven't done the research, but
okay. And who would you suggest supervise?
I have a 21-year-old that is also the sibling of Brandon Gonzalez.
He's this Brandon. Okay.
Brandon, yes.
I connected him to Wyatt, and that wasn't going to work for me. So, okay. Yeah, Brandon's Younger brother, okay. Anybody else?
Not that I can think of right now. I wouldn't oppose a court appointed or something like that.
I don't know. They have one in Sweetwater.
Okay.
Anybody else any other
No.
private person that you're aware of that could potentially supervise?
I really don't have anyone that I know of. Everyone I know works, so I would have to ask them,
Okay.
whether I would, everyone I know would have to be asked first so that it would fit into their schedule.
Okay. All right. You keep saying that Wyatt's having some issues with abandonment. Do you have him in therapy?
No, ma'am.
Have you had any? Is there been any kind of diagnosis by a professional?
His doctor, I took him to his doctor, and she was supposed to recommend therapy for him, and they never called me.
Okay.
So I don't have him in therapy now.
Okay. Did you follow up with that?
Yes, I called them, and the center said that the doctor would have to, order it. And then
Okay.
when I called the doctor, she said that I could call the center myself. And that's what I did. It's right across the street from his doctor's office. And they said that's what they sent me, was that the doctor would have to order it. And then the doctor said I would have to, schedule it.
Okay. Well, yeah, you would have to schedule. I get that, but unless the doctor thinks you're going to pay for it out of pocket, they're going to need a referral.
Yes, that's what
for the
they had
insurance.
said.
Okay. All right. All right. All right. Brandon Gonzalez, you have the right to cross-examine the witness. Same rules. Do you have any questions you feel like you need to ask Mr. Gonzalez?
No, Judge, not right at the moment.
Okay. Ms. Dodd, you have the right to cross-examine the witness, but the same rules. Do you have any questions you feel like you need to ask Ms. Gonzalez? You're muted. I need you to unmute before you answer.
Sorry.
That's okay.
I was gonna ask, well, I had it on top of my head. I was gonna ask her, why she's saying that I threatened her whenever there was no court order applying to her that she was a custodial parent. Because at the time.
Okay. Well, all you can do right now is ask a question.
Okay.
Okay. You can't put all these conditions in it and we just lose the point of the question. So, Ms. Gonzalez, did you understand the question and could you answer it?
Yes, ma'am. The reason I say she threatened me was because she said that if I was going to make her pay child support, she was just going to come and get Wyatt.
Okay.
And that I couldn't stop her because I was just a guardian.
All right. Any other questions, Ms. Dodd?
No, ma'am.
All right. Ms. Gonzalez, anything else you think I ought to know?
No, ma'am.
Okay.
I really can't think off the top of my head whether or not, other than the reason that I opened up this case is just so that I could have custodial rights, as far as where the parents can't just drive up here and grab him and take him, because they had no previous want to be a parent. And if I felt that they could be good parents to him, then I'm all for it. But since they have not been in his life, I would rather start it off with safety and him, my grandson, feeling safe.
Ms. Cox, any other questions for this witness?
Nothing further, Your Honor.
Anything else or anybody else you want to call?
No, the state rest.
Okay. Does the state have any money on hold?
No, Your Honor, we do not.
All right. Brandon Gonzalez, anything else you want to tell me?
No, other than I don't feel like Rebecca Gonzalez is qualified to diagnose any medical conditions, nor to teach a curriculum to a child. But that's all.
All right. Well, are you using anything online, Ms. Gonzalez, for the homeschooling?
No, ma'am. We're doing it all by worksheets, workbooks.
Where are you getting those?
Okay, I have bought the workbooks. I have them right here in case you need to
Okay.
see them.
No,
I also
can't.
have.
Ma'am, can you read that?
No, ma'am.
So you showing me the things on through the camera is not going to work.
Yes, ma'am.
I understand you have them there, and I appreciate that you tried. But did you order them from a homeschool program? Did you go down to Barnes and Noble and buy them?
Yes, I bought them at Walmart, at the Dollar
Okay.
Tree, at Goodwill. I've bought worksheets online, and copied them off of like Facebook and things like that
Okay.
through homeschooling.
That's what I needed to know. Okay. All right. Anything else you want to tell me, Mr. Gonzalez?
No, Judge, not.
Okay. Basically, he reminded me I'd wanted to ask you that anyway, Miss Gonzalez. Okay.
Mhm.
All right. Miss Dodd, anything else you think I should know?
I think that I shouldn't have supervision. I think I'm well enough to visit my own child without supervision. Last
But
time I
it's
huh?
been 2 years since you've seen him, though, right?
Yeah. But last year I called Kelly and I was gonna take Wyatt with me and my boyfriend and his sisters and to the zoo because it was my birthday. And I kind of got frustrated because she didn't want him to go by himself. She's always wanted him to go with him because she is scared that I'm going to take him back with me. For what? And also, about the child support situation, I think that's a little bit too much because I don't have a job. So,
You don't think being a mama and a stay-at-home wife is a job?
no, I'm saying like it is a job.
It is a job.
I'm saying that the child support, the $192 a month, is too much because I don't have a job. I take care of my girls at home. I have a 7-month-old baby, a 3-year-old, and a 4-year-old. And I've tried to, for instance, I tried to take Wyatt with me to last year on my birthday to the zoo, and she didn't want to because she wanted to come along, and I said, well, why can't I just take him with us? And then, nope, she didn't let me.
Your Honor,
Yeah,
I
I think it's 2025 or 2024. I can't remember which one. But it was around there.
Go ahead, Miss Cox.
there is money on hold on that account for Mr. Gonzalez. I apologize.
That's okay. All right. So when do you want the judgment taken as of? Do you need to check with a financial specialist?
No, we can take it as of May 31st and then I can apply what's on hold.
Okay. All
May
right.
I ask?
Who?
Rebecca Gonzalez, may I speak?
Yes, ma'am. What?
The call that she's referring to where she wanted to take him for her birthday, it was a birthday party for one of her other children, and she had stated that she wanted to take him, and he did not want to go. It wasn't me. He's the one that asked, can my grandma go? And I did not coach him at that time or anything. He's the one that brought it up, can my grandma go? And she said no. And so he said he didn't want to go.
Ms. Cox, I know you don't cover whatever county Sweetwater is in. I think Nolan. But can you ask some of your CSOs in there and see if, because I think the Lubbock office does or has in the past, if they're aware of any facility in that county. Because we're going to have to do something for drop off and drop pickup anyway.
I'm going to post a message. Give me just a second.
Sure.
I am not seeing any replies or any typing. It's looking a little grim.
Okay. All right. Mr. Gonzalez, you were talking about Brandon Gonzalez, you were talking about that you knew people that could possibly supervise at least your visitations if that's what I ordered. Did you have anybody you could name?
Yes, ma'am. I would like to keep them confidential if I could.
You cannot, because I got an order that they supervise or they don't supervise.
Okay. So I do have one named Cody Hernandez. He's been a good friend of mine for a number of years. I've worked with him multiple times. And he has a wife, and they have 4 children.
Okay, what was his last name? I'm sorry.
Hernandez.
Hernandez. Okay. Have you talked to him about doing something like this?
Yes, I have talked to him if I ever did need help, like with childcare or whatever. He says that uh, his and his mother are able to care for the children and for to help me with childcare.
And how old are his kids?
I believe they range from 3 to 16, I believe.
16? Okay. Miss Dodd, if I were to order at least supervised in the beginning, do you have anybody that might be willing, or you're muted again? You have to unmute every time.
No, I don't know anybody.
I don't think there's anything in Big Spring.
Mm-mm.
Other than the son that's is the 21-year-old living with you, Mrs. Gonzalez?
Yes, ma'am.
Anybody besides somebody living in your household that you would suggest?
No, ma'am, but I would like to go like I could ask someone from the police department or something that if they know someone who could be credible, I would even um, be I would be willing if it was someone I knew or it was a state official or like a police department
Okay.
person.
Police department, and they don't provide that service. That's not something police do.
Yeah, well,
None of the counties out here have what's called a domestic relations office, which might have people that they could set up to recommend that.
okay,
I can't find a visitation place in Sweetwater.
okay.
Just on a quick Google. There's one in Abilene, but that's not fair to Miss Dodd that she shouldn't have to go to Abilene because y'all can't get along.
Okay. Um, I wouldn't I wouldn't be opposed to like drive to Big Springs or even to Abilene or to Lubbock or you know those in order for visitation. I would be even willing to go to Midland.
Okay, well, unless you're willing to provide them all a ride, we're kind of, or you're liable to be making a lot of trips to Midland to just sit there.
Okay.
See what I'm saying?
Yes, ma'am.
Because nobody wants to know where anybody lives. Nobody
I-
wants to be able to get a hold of them by telephone.
I don't mind either one of them having my phone number
I'm
or
going to
my
take
address.
care of that. I got a way to have you communicate.
Okay.
But y'all got to use it. I get a lot of things that y'all don't, that the people don't use it.
Hmm. We could not meet at like a McDonald's or something like that.
Well, then that makes you the supervisor. And if the child's used to you being around and coming to, he's not going to spend time with them.
Oh, okay. I understand
And
her.
they already have issues with you being in it.
Yes, ma'am.
Because they feel like they don't get to see the child.
That was their choice, Your Honor.
Okay, I understand that it was their choice that you having. Okay, but we're not talking about that. Okay. I believe even in this circumstance, a child needs to know his parents. Okay. That's who he is. That's who he came from. And he understands if he overhears you saying anything not nice about Brandon, he'll if he doesn't yet, he will eventually understand you're talking about half of who he is too. Same thing with his mom, right? Okay. So, and I'm not saying you did. I'm just saying, for example, I mean, they figured this out. So,
Yes.
so if you have somebody that is consistently in the household now as the supervisor, then he's not having a visit with his parents. He's over here trying to make sure you're happy or his uncle's happy or whoever, because
Yes.
that's who he's going home with. Okay.
I just worry about his well-being because
I
that's what I've done
understand
for
that.
the last 4 years.
I
Um,
understand yeah, that's
I
why
don't.
I was leaning towards, at the beginning, for some length of time, it was probably going to be supervised anyway by somebody the kid knew, just so he has some constant consistency, but y'all don't get along. And who's paying the price for that? Why it is. And it's not fair to you because you're grandma and you shouldn't have to be you shouldn't have to be parent. But that's where we are at. Right?
Right. I don't want him to be abused, and
I don't want him to be abused either. I promise you, I don't.
that's what I'm afraid of.
But I gotta, I had to make a decision. And I
Yes, ma'am.
gotta figure out what I can do for everybody's benefit. So why did you let Brandon visit with him last summer? Why did you let Brandon come stay in the house for?
Well, I let him have supervised visitation because I thought that, I knew that he needed his parents, but I wanted it to be in a more of a controlled environment because he had not been a part of his life for all that time. And I thought that if him and Wyatt built a relationship between each other, it would be a normal father son. But I saw firsthand that it couldn't be because of how he was being treated and that the hatred that his father has for me and for his mom rubbed on to how he was treating my grandson. And that's why I'm so scared about this, is because if he is not supervised by someone that can control that anger, what will happen then? It only takes a second to hurt someone, especially a child.
All right. Get any feedback, Ms. Cox?
Um,
No, Your Honor, I did not.
Keep an eye on, try to keep an eye on it. I'm going to ask you again before I rule on supervision, on
right.
visitation. Okay.
All right.
All right. So is there anything else, Brandon Gonzalez, that you want to tell me?
Yes, ma'am. A lot of the things that I was accused of doing, they never even took place. I never.
I'm sorry, you dropped out. You never.
I never once placed a pillow over my son's face and all of this in an attempt to make it seem like I tried to smother him or anything like that. Taking my underwear off whenever I go to sleep, that's not anything. That's not untrue. It's an untrue statement, and I feel like it's just a way to defame me and support her cause for wanting to have supervised visitation.
Okay. All right. Ms. Dodd, anything else you want to say? You'll need to unmute it.
No, ma'am.
Okay. Anything else, Mrs. Gonzalez?
No, ma'am. I just.
Okay. Okay. Here's what we're going to do then. Court finds I have jurisdiction over the parties and over the subject matter. First thing I'm going to address is the prior order between Brandon Gonzalez and Laura Dodd. First of all, I am granting a modification, and I am ordering that beginning July 1st, 2026, Brandon Gonzalez no longer owes child support to Laura Dodd or cash medical support to Laura Dodd. Okay, so that obligation is terminated. I also, but you did owe back child support, and I am going to go ahead and enter a judgment as of June 1st, 2026. Since we're ending everything in July, I wanted it to include the accrual for June. And what they'll do is and it may take them a couple of days, but they'll enter the order, Mr. Gonzalez, and then they'll apply the money. And since that money accrued when the order was to Miss Dodd, the money's going to go to Miss Dodd, but then they'll apply it. So I am going to order you to make payment on this, but you're going to get the lump sum credit for the money they have on hold. Does that make sense? But it's a process, and it will take a few days for that money to show up.
Right, gotcha.
Okay, because they're going to have to move the receipt. I used to work there, and I worked under an older system, but I know in principle they're going to have to move the receipt to after June 1st and let it and then release it, and that's a multi-step process. Okay, right. But Miss Dodd, you will get that money. Mr. Gonzalez, you will get credit for it.
Okay,
but I'm guessing it's not going to completely cover what you owe. So I'm still going to have a payment plan on it until you get it paid off. Okay? That makes sense to everybody?
Yes, ma'am.
At least in principle, does it make sense to everybody? Because it didn't make sense to me when I worked there. So, but I do find, yes, somebody had a question?
Oh, no, ma'am.
Okay. I do find that Brandon Gonzalez had a prior child support obligation in which you are in arrears, Mr. Gonzalez, of $4,689.45 as of June 1st, 2026. And I order you to make payment on that judgment at $50 a month that will go to Miss Dodd. You will pay it through the state disbursement unit beginning July 1st, 2026. Likewise, you had a cash medical support obligation in which you're in arrears, and I enter a medical support arrears judgment against you of $1,980.62 as of June 1st, 2026, and I order you to make payment on that judgment at $15 a month beginning July 1st, 2026. That money may not go to you, Ms. Dodd. That money may go to the Attorney General's office.
Okay.
For the child being on Medicaid. I don't know how that's broken up at this point. Okay.
I got a quick question.
Okay.
How will I receive that money?
How have you been receiving that money?
Okay.